Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the 2018 Netflix original film, The Titans, starring Sam Worthington, Taylor Schilling, Natalie Emanuel, a bunch of other people are in this. Hour 37 minutes, something like that, including credits. The first two-thirds of this film, excuse me, are awesome. And then that third act starts and it's wonky because it feels like there was like a fast time jump that didn't actually happen. So the premise is we're in the year 2048. Earth is, becoming desolate. Humanity's survival relies on something. So the government is the United States government, working with NATO, working with NASA, have devised a plan. Certain scientists have devised a plan to force human evolution to make us compatibly capable of surviving on the moon Titan, which is the largest moon of Saturn, because it has a very similar atmosphere to Earth. We are nitrogen based on this planet, and then Titan is nitrogen based, but they have a higher nitrogen content than we do, and there's a bunch of other stuff like their current atmosphere is what the Earth's atmosphere was like way back in its early development billions of years ago. So it's the question of, can you forcibly change the genome? Can you mutate? Can you push evolution further on humans, creating a new human, a Homo titanus, whatever the term was that they were using, to then be able to survive on Titan, to instill the future of humanity, right? But it's not technically humanity because you're changing the genome, you're forcing evolution to then live on a planet. Or is it just for the initial individuals to get there, to then start to colonize, to make bases that way humans can escape to Titan? Something like that, right? So that's the basic premise. Okay, fine. It's the closest atmosphere that we can, quote unquote, try to survive in within regards to our solar system. Fine. So the DNA conversations, the enzyme conversations, like, it was very scientific and it was very interesting leading up to that. Sam Worthington plays his character of Rick. He's like the main guy who's doing far superior than everybody else in this military compound that they're all working together on. But then, like, things happen. People obviously are reacting differently to the getting the constant injections and the skin turning blue and peeling off and things, right? So we then get to that second end of the second act, beginning of the third act, where then, like, it's decided that two individuals, Sam's character and Natalie's character, who are the best and the only ones who survived basically after the most trials, some of the ones who survived after the most trials, will go under a surgical procedure to then help them in regards to that evolution. That way they can adapt better on Titan. So then, like, a lot of people are, pass away with in regards to the surgery, and then the two of them come out on the other side. But it was very much the day later. And skin doesn't heal that quick. So it was very weird, because that's what I'm referencing before. There was a time jump, but there wasn't a time jump. Because how do you go from a blue-skinned human, the day later, after a surgery, you then have all of these different features because of this surgery that's helping you become this Homo titanus instead of the Homo sapien. You've evolved into the Homo titanus. So, like, there was a time gap which didn't make sense because there's no way that the body healed that quick in regards to getting to that point. And then it's a matter of, well, obviously they don't know their strength and they can't communicate anymore with their words. They communicate on a different level. And things, right? There's violence, there's attacks. There was a lot of good fight scenes, don't get me wrong, but it was a weird turn, because the first two-thirds were, I was there. I was like, okay, all right, we're going to get to Titan. We're going to be able to breathe in the nitrogen air, and humanity's going to survive. This is the first step in next human evolution to make sure that the species kind of survives, right? Okay, I was there. But then the day later thing, it was strange. Or if it wasn't the day later, they don't actually say how many days later, because the character of Abby, played by Taylor, still has a bunch of bruises and cuts and stuff from a fight that happened. granted, she was in the hospital, but it doesn't say the next day. It doesn't say a week later. Like, it was just, that was my only concern about that. And then seeing Rick then on Titan, you know, using his new flappable skin to soar and go through Titan. But what's his objective then? Is he him, because there's only one survivor, is he himself going to be the one who starts to colonize? He can't reproduce by himself, so how's that working? Where's there a base that's being set up? Like, did he come with supplies? Like, there's a lot of questions that were not answered at the end of this, and it's unfortunate because the first 2/3 were very good, and then we hit that third act mark, and the time didn't make sense, or it wasn't explained, and then the very end of him on Titan by himself, what is he doing next? It was just not properly finished, and it's unfortunate because it had a good arc. You win some, you lose some. I enjoyed the science aspect to it. I thought they did a great job explaining it, but I wanted it refined. I wanted it more neat. I wanted it logical. In the end, granted it's science fiction, but still, I wanted it explained because everything else was explained. Why was this not thought out properly? I don't know. I don't know what else to say, but good watch nonetheless. 2018's The Titan. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.